Hello everybody, this is me Alquan. And I just want to talk about a pope, what a pope is. The pope is the bishop of Rome and the head of the worldwide Catholic Church. He is also known as the Supreme Pontiff, Roman Pontiff, or Sovereign Pontiff from the 8th century until the 1870. The pope was the sovereign or head of the state of Papal States, and since 1929 the smaller, much Vatican City state. The most recent pope was Francis, who died on 21st of April 2025. The papacy is vacant until a new pope is chosen in the upcoming 2025 papal conclave. Although his office is filled with the papacy, the jurisdiction of the episcopal see is called the Holy See. The word see comes from the Latin for seat or chair, particular to the one on which the newly elected pope sits during the enthronement ceremony. And it is the Holy See that is the sovereign entity under the international law headquartered in the distinctively independent Vatican City, a city-state which forms a geographical enclave within the conurbation of Rome. The Holy See is recognized by its adherents at various levels to international organizations and by means of its diplomatic relations and political accords with many independent states. According to Catholic tradition, the Apostolic See of Rome was founded by St. Peter and St. Paul in the 1st century. The papacy is one of the most enduring institutions in the world and has a prominent part in human history. In addition to the expansion of Christian faith and doctrine, modern popes are involved in extremism and interfaith dialogue, charitable work, and the defense of human rights. Over time, the papacy acquired broad secular and political influence, eventually rivaling those of territorial rulers. In recent countries, the temporal authority of the papacy has declined and the office is now largely focused on religious matters. The pope is considered one of the world's most powerful pope due to the extensive diplomatic, cultural, and spiritual influence of his position on both 1.3 billion Catholics and those outside of the Catholic Church, and because he heads the world's largest non-governmental provider of education and health care with a vast network of charities. The word pope derives from ancient Greek father. In the early centuries of Christianity, this title was applied, especially in the East, to all bishops and other senior clergy, and later became reserved in the West to the Bishop of Rome during the reign of Pope Leo I. The Catholic Church teaches that the pastoral office, the office of shepherding the church, that was held by the apostles as a group or college with St. Peter as their head, is now held by their successors, the bishops. Thus is derived another title by which the Pope is known, that of Supreme Pontiff. The Catholic Church teaches that Jesus personally appointing Peter, the visible head of the church. Some historians argue against the notion that Peter was the first bishop of Rome, noting that the episcopal see in Rome can be traced back no earlier than the 3rd century. A church father who wrote around 100 AD reflects a belief that Peter organized the church at Rome. Irenaeus was not the first to write of Peter's presence in the early Roman church. The Church of Rome wrote in a letter to the Corinthians about the persecution of Christians in Rome as the struggles in our time, and presented to the Corinthians in heroes, first the greatest and most just columns, the good apostles Peter and Paul. In his letter from the city of Samaria to the Romans, he said he would not command them as Peter and Paul did. Given this and other evidence such as Emperor Constantine's erection of the old St. Peter's Basilica on location of St. Peter's tomb as held and given to him by Rome's Christian community. First century Christian communities may have had a group of presbyter bishops functioning as guides of their local churches. Gradually, episcopal sees were established in metropolitan areas. Antioch may have developed such a structure before Rome. In Rome, there were over time at various junctures rival claimants to be the rightful bishop, though again Irenaeus stressed with the validity of one line of bishops from the time of St. Peter up to his contemporary Pope Victor I, and listened to them. Documents of the 1st century and early 2nd century indicate that the Bishop of Rome had some kind of preeminence and prominence in the church as a whole, as even the letter from the Bishop or Patriarch and Antioch acknowledged the Bishop of Rome as a first among equals, though the detail of what this meant is unclear. And after death, Pope Victor I, in what is seen as an exercise of Roman authority over other churches, excommunicated the Quartodecimans for observing Easter on the 14th Nisan, the date of Jewish Passover, a tradition handed down by John the Evangelist. Well, I hope this helps. This is me, Alquan, and remember that Pope is the Bishop of Rome. That's what Pope is about. Pope is Bishop of Rome. I want you to get that in your head so that you can understand what it is. This is me, Alquan, and I will see you at the next episode. Keep learning. Hello, everyone. This is me, Alquan. And if you like this video, I want you to go like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Remember, keep learning and you will know a lot.